Hey, good morning. Pastor Rob, day 3 post um, hip replacement surgery. So, still a little loopy from the drugs. I've been loopy for a couple days, but I'm doing good. I will say this was a lot easier than the knee replacement surgery I had on the same leg about 14 years ago, and that's doing good. But this hip, just getting used to it. I'm trying to chronicle this. I'm going to put it on YouTube at 55, having this done. I did some things to prepare for my surgery. I stretched my leg, even though it was very uncomfortable. Kept my upper body strength good, so I knew I'd have to compensate with my arms and shoulders and stuff. Kept my right leg loose, did some walking. Everything I could do to prepare for surgery, to get blood into the joint area so that when the surgery actually occurred, I'd be ready. So I would say the first day after surgery, I had to sleep about 12 hours. I'm not good with anesthesia, but after about 12 hours, I got up and I probably walked 100 yards. And I did that on purpose because the painkillers are still, killing the pain in your leg. You can kind of get away with it with your walker if you're still stable. I climbed 3 flights of stairs, believe it or not. The girl that took me down for x-ray left me down there. That's no big deal. She was a nice girl. She got busy, and I ended up in a hallway where people were staring at me. I got uncomfortable, so I'm like, well, I'm on the 2nd floor. I think I only got to go to the 3rd floor. So I got up, hobbled up the steps, and realized I had to go to the 5th floor. So made it to the 5th floor, and there was my nurse. Her name's Kelly. She was super nice. Had her arms crossed, tapping her foot, going, "What are you doing? You can't just run off in the hospital." And I'm like, well, I'm sorry. I hope I'm not in trouble. So we walked down to the room, and there was Heidi, and everybody's looking for me. But I was feeling pretty good because I learned from my knee replacement that if you function while the painkillers are still active, and if you're able to do that, it helps quite a bit when the pain is gone or the painkillers are gone. So yeah, I mean, I'm still cloudy, but anyway. Hip surgery is scary, not nearly as bad or painful as the knee replacement surgery that I had. And I'm 3rd day in. I walked the block with my wife, unassisted, no cane, no nothing. And one of the things that prepared me, really, I would say, obviously prayer, faith, my friends' support was, excuse me, I had to wait over 4 months for my surgery, and my knee had been, my hip had been hurting for well over a year. It had been hurting for a while. I heard it obviously in the military and stuff like that, and it just got worse and worse. So eventually, it kind of just gave way and said, "I've had enough." So about a year, and then finally about 6 months out, I'm like, I got to get something done. I can't sleep on my left side. My hip was really hurting, but I didn't want to go in to the surgery not being prepared. So I tried to strengthen my leg, stretch my leg, strengthen my other leg because I knew it would have to compensate. Got in the hot tub a lot. That helps quite a bit. You go in there, just relax, and then get ready, mentally ready and prayerfully ready for surgery. So anyway, I'm just trying to, just catalog what I went through. Went to the hospital. It was great. The VA hospital was very friendly, very kind, very professional. It's obvious they know what they're doing. It was one thing after the other. Once I hit the bed, probably within a half hour, I was under, and then 3 hours later came out. Now, one thing they did for me is had a guy by me because I'm really not good with anesthesia. So I don't know if you're doing that. If anybody here's watching, is not good with anesthesia, tell them that. And they had a guy standing right by me, and I can remember like holding his arm, holding his shoulder, just knowing somebody was there helped me quite a bit till I got my bearings a little bit. That helped. So they were very kind to do that for me, and one guy stood by my side the whole time so I could talk to him. I could hear him, but I wasn't with it. But his voice was comforting. "Rob, this is what's going on. This is your oxygen. This is your heart. Those things were very nice that he did that for me. And then up to the room. Now, I would say up in the room, they only gave me about 2 hours, and some guy come in. I don't know why he would do that. I think this was a bad idea, but then again, it's their job. He was very kind, but he's like, "Okay, we got to get you up." 2 hours after surgery. I said, brother, that's not possible. And I sat up, extreme pain, and I told him, if you make me stand up, I'm going to barf all over you. So I was very nauseous. My head was spinning. I felt like I had been on a ship in some stormy seas for a couple of days. I was real wobbly. And at least he was kind enough to let me lay down. I was sweating. I sweated so bad from the pain and from the nausea that it was dripping down my face, dripping down my nose, all the way onto my shirt. And I think he realized that this isn't a good idea. But I told him, I said, come back in 12 hours and I'll do anything you're asking me to do. So in the middle of the night, which was hard to sleep, I was doing some sit-ups, shaking my head, stretching my shoulders, everything I could do. I'd sit up a little bit, sit back down, sit up a little bit, sit back down to get my head clear, so that by noon the next day, I would say even by 9 o'clock, so I would say less than 24 hours later, I was up and walking. So anyway, mentally prepare for what you're going into. Stay strong. Don't be, dormant. Move around. Walk a few miles. Walk as far as you can. Go to the mall. Walk from bench to bench to get, your body moving before you go to surgery. So this is day 3, and I can tell you, there's not a whole lot I can't do right now. I'm still in a lot of pain, but then again, I got pretty high pain tolerance. So, I finished Ranger School with a broken, torn ACL ligament, tore it in AIT, went to Ranger training, tore it all the way through and still completed. Story there was, if you made it the first week, you could go 6 miles. And I'll be grateful for everything. It was Sergeant Dick was his name, real tall guy. He says, listen, man, I know you're hurting, but on your first test, if you want to retest, you got to make it 6 miles. So I had to make it to the truck, and I made it to the truck, torn ACL, got on the back of the truck, and he says, listen, we're going to get you on the retest next week, finish this RIP class. and the next week, that's what happened. I woke up 3 o'clock in the morning. It was a retest. I think there was about 25 of us, me and Rick Ayers, a couple other guys, and took a bunch of anti-inflammatory drugs. I remember counting, there was nine drugs. I probably was doped up, I don't know, but Robert Boyden and Doc Schwartz gave me a bunch of pills and said, okay, man, here's your retest. You've got to make this if you want to make battalion, and finished it with a torn cartilage and a torn ACL ligament. We was 3 of us that made it, me, Rick Ayers, and one other guy. I'm not sure who he was, but I was the last of the 3. And I think that prepared me mentally for what I'm going through now with these knees and this hip. But graduating that, and them guys give me some good advice. So I'm just telling you what I'm going through. Maybe that advice will help somebody else. But be prepared, be mentally prepared, get ready for the pain. But the one thing that always comforted me was they would say, you can't hurt it. When they tell me that, that's a green light to do what I got to do to heal up. So when the nurse told me that, doctor said, really, you can't hurt it. Don't do anything stupid. Don't do any severe yoga stretches, but you can't hurt your leg. And that says to me, well, I can walk, and I can walk as far as I want. But then again, don't overdo the walking either, because man, when you sit, it's like everything just stiffens up. So another thing I did was they gave me painkillers. I don't take any of them. I don't take any painkillers, no hydrocodone, no nothing. I just don't like them. No stool softeners, none of that stuff. The only thing I took was my aspirin, my acid reflux pill, and there was like a little nerve blocking pill, I think it is, but it's like a little painkiller, but there's no real mental or cloudy effects to your brain. So no opiates, no hydrocodone, and I don't take any painkillers. Because I want to know what I'm feeling and what's going on in my leg. And I think that's advisable, because then you know your limits, what you can do, and remember not to push too hard. And that's one thing for guys like us, it's hard knowing when to stop. So anyway, that's probably my biggest problem, is I just want to go walk this off until I'm ready to get back in the game, so to speak. But, cross your legs. Don't cross your legs. That's a big no-no. I just learned that too. So anyway, day 3, out of complete total hip replacement surgery. And tomorrow's my first PT day. They're going to have in-home care for me, which is fantastic. And we'll see how we go from there. And if anybody has any questions or anything, I'm just trying to help. I'm not trying to get views or anything. I don't care about that. But if somebody has some advice on, or needs some advice on hip replacement surgery, I'm going through it. I went through knee replacement surgery. I do know this. I'm limited. No more running. I guess you can bike. Go swimming. That's always one they tell you can do. But I haven't ran in years now because of my knees. So anyway, stay strong, stay positive, and don't let anything keep you down. You got to overcome every day. The hardest thing about this surgery is after you sit down is standing up. The first 3 steps are they're horrible. But once you get moving, you're okay. You just mentally prepare. I got to stand up, take 3 steps, and then I'll be good. So anyway, that's day 3. I have day 4 tomorrow.